Beach Brooks III here.
Roberto Anton, what did you like most about the past year?
Past year, interesting question. I'd probably say the past years, for me personally, we welcomed our second child. My daughter was born in December at the end of last year, so that was exciting. Now being a family of four is awesome.
All right, I think I moved to the Tampa area and I started my job here with you guys, and I think that was, it's been a real positive step in my life, I think.
Glad you enjoy it. Best way to spend an unseasonably warm day?
Indoors, the air conditioning blasting, chugging cold water.
I would probably say outdoors, on a beach somewhere or on a boat. Probably not chugging water, but just in being around friends or family outside by the water.
All right. What's something you wish people knew before they were in an accident and needed a lawyer?
I tell every single client it's not the truth, it's the proof. So if you ever find yourself in the unfortunate position that you are involved in an accident, make sure that you are documenting everything, take pictures at the scene, get any witnesses, names, phone numbers, addresses, as well as contact an attorney as quickly as possible so that way we can start preserving any evidence as well. How about yourself?
Get uninsured motorist coverage. If you don't have coverage, get coverage. It is the only way that you have of guaranteeing that there's gonna be some amount of money there available to help you out and pay your bills when you get hurt, because there is a staggering number of motorists driving the streets of the state of Florida who didn't bother to pick up any insurance whatsoever. It happens all the time and it's heartbreaking.
What's the wildest phone call you've ever gotten as an attorney?
This would have been circa 2020, late 2020, yeah, early 2021. A woman called our office. I was working at a personal injury firm in South Carolina, and she wanted to know whether we could sue the Central Intelligence Agency for stealing the election. And I said very calmly, "I'm sorry, ma'am, we are a personal injury law firm." And that was pretty much it. I tried to keep it as vague as possible with her.
So I had two phone calls that came to mind for me. The first one was a guy called one time asking if we could sue the government because they put microchips in his Cheetos and now they were controlling him. And the other one was a client called one time, unrelated to her case, but wanted to know if I would take her daughter out on a date. So that was an interesting phone call, but unfortunately there was no date in that situation, but those are probably the two that jumped to the top of mind for me.
I'm just curious, were you married already?
I was not.
You were not?
But I was dating my now wife, so I don't think she would have appreciated with me going out on the date.
All right, just wanted to make sure, you know. What's one of the nicest things you've heard from a client?
Back when I had hair, that I had good hair. I wish I could still get that compliment. No, in all seriousness, I had a client one time whose family was back in Haiti, and we were able to get this client a pretty significant recovery, and he was able to buy a house and bring his entire family over. So I was able to reunite his family, and he just could not say thank you enough. And so that was probably one of my most rewarding times as an attorney, but also one of the biggest compliments I've ever gotten. How about you?
I was, another South Carolina story. I was working, I was splitting my time between doing personal injury work and doing some criminal litigation. And this gentleman, he got in a ticket because his kids hadn't been strapped into the car seat properly, and we were able to work out with the police officer where he would toss all the charges. All the police officer wanted to see was that the client could actually put his kids into the seat correctly. And we were able to work that out. This client did not have a lot of money. And you know, he walked away with an appreciation for the fact that the police officer really was all about the child's safety and that they were good people. It was just a really good vibe all around. And you know, my client spoke only Spanish, and he just did not have enough ways of thanking me for mediating between him and the system and giving him that support. And I mean, I felt great. It felt amazing.
It's a great story. Chatbots, are they value or are they a threat, and why?
Like the AI chatbots?
Yep.
I think they are both. It's like anything else, any tool. Anytime you develop a new piece of technology that is as transformative as AGI, artificial general intelligence, you're gonna have potential weaponized applications, but you also are gonna have a great capacity for reducing human suffering and helping people live more full, more fulfilling lives. And just, it's a matter of being responsible in how we apply it and how we roll it out.
I agree. Obviously, you're much more well-versed in this than I am, but I do see some value, both just on a personal level and as an attorney. But I could definitely see where there could be some issues that arise down the road. So hopefully we tread wisely moving forward.
So on a scale of 1 to 5, how much do you like the person sitting next to you?
3.5.
That's pretty good.
So.
That's pretty good. Out of 5?
Yeah, out of 5. And yeah, we're trending. We're trending. Hopefully soon it'll be a 4.
Since we can do decimals, I'm going to go ahead and say 5.
I
It's a 5 for
appreciate
me.
that.
It's a 5 for me.
I appreciate that. What makes your office feel welcoming?
The pictures of my wife that I have up. You like to me, or do you think to people in general?
I mean, whatever you think.
I have a very wacky keyboard. I think people who see that understand that for whatever hard-nosed SAT word that I'm going to use, no one who has a teal and hot pink keyboard could possibly be that hard-nosed, a serious, like very self-serious person.
I would say, if anybody that knows me, I'm not a very materialistic person, so it's nothing physical in my office, it's the people. I enjoy coming in every single day and being surrounded by our coworkers. We got an awesome staff. They make me laugh, they make me smile, and they make what we do an enjoyable work. So I'd say the people are in our office is what makes it welcoming.
I'm changing my answer to his answer. All right. Should lane splitting be legal?
Lane splitting. I don't believe so. People are not always aware of what's around them, especially nowadays with cell phones. So I would go ahead and say that it should not. What are your thoughts?
Same. It's that is not a regular application of the lane, I would say, and so and I just don't think it's very safe. I think if you were meant to split the lane would be wider, frankly.
Do people actually slip on banana peels at the grocery store?
I would say people slip on everything at the grocery store. If they're name a thing in a grocery store, I can almost guarantee you at some point or another, someone has genuinely slipped on it.
I agree. There's probably video out there of someone slipping on a banana peel and doing the whole Mario Kart thing, spin around before they fall. Because like we've discussed in the past, these stores are designed to have your attention drawn to what's on the shelves, not what's down on the ground. So unfortunately, things do accumulate on the ground sometimes, and clients aren't looking down because they're looking at what's on the shelves and what they're potentially going to buy. So people do slip on banana peels.
What is your minimum temperature for wearing shorts?
I'm a Florida boy, and what I mean by that is I love warm temperatures, but I also love shorts and sandals. So I'm gonna say like 55 degrees. You can still rock shorts and a long sleeve shirt at like 50, 55 degrees. How about you?
I think everything short of like snowing. I think as long as from the waist up, I'm properly clothed, I have a hoodie on or something like that, my legs can take it.
Favorite local spot for lunch near our office?
The Wawa.
There's nothing better by our office besides the Wawa.
It's a multi-factor analysis that also involves convenience, speed, that I can order it online. They have energy drinks right there. You can pick up a couple of hard-boiled eggs that are sealed in addition to it. You know, there's just, oh, and I can get gas while I'm there. Really, that Wawa, it's kind of indispensable.
So this entire time I thought you were a foodie. The entire time I've known you, I thought Roberto was a foodie, and here I am changing my opinion of you.
I can change multitudes.
I would have to say there's a restaurant right by us in the Tampa office. It's called the Columbia. It's actually the oldest restaurant in Florida. They have a 1905 salad. The restaurant was formed in 1905. Great restaurant. And whenever I'm in our Winter Haven office, there's a local sushi restaurant, so I always walk over there with my dad and grab lunch there. I do not go to the local gas station for my lunches.
How close do you follow when chasing an ambulance?
I like to fly pretty close to the sun, so no. We are here to help people. You know, attorneys, you know, one of the best quotes I ever heard is, you know, everyone hates attorneys except for their own attorney. So a lot of times, you know, personal injury attorneys, we get a bad rap as ambulance chasers, but we're here to help people. And a lot of times, if insurance companies did the right thing and treated people correctly, there wouldn't be a need for attorneys to be involved. So a lot of times, we're not chasing the ambulance, it's the insurance companies not doing their job, and it forces people to reach out to us.
It's also important to note that we're not ethically allowed to chase the ambulance. Like, people see movies and they think that there's just an attorney waiting in the hospital to pop into their room and give them their card, and we're actually not allowed to do that. You know, you have to come to us, and we want your call. You know, we spend all kinds of money trying to get that phone to ring. So if you're in an accident, you're sitting in the hotel room and in the hospital room, and no attorneys approached you, don't take that as an indication you don't have a case or that no one thinks it's worth anything. You have to, unfortunately, you have to make the first step and reach out to us. And I promise you, we want to hear from you.
When you return to Tampa after being away, what's the first thing you do?
Depends on how long I've been gone, but I would say go out and find Cuban food and have Cuban food.
What's your favorite Cuban restaurant?
In Tampa?
Yeah.
I think it's probably the Columbia. Even though it's not specifically a Cuban food restaurant, they have a lot of Cuban food there because Tampa is the oldest Cuban community outside of Cuba, obviously, in the country. And I mean, it's really good. It's excellent. And I grew up in Miami, and I grew up with a Cuban grandmother, so you know, I know from Cuban food, and it's pretty authentic, I would say.
When I return to Tampa after being away, once again, it depends on how long it is. Sometimes, you know, you go away for just a night or two for work. But if I'm away for work, it's obviously go home and see my family. But I love our city. There's so many cool aspects of it. So I wouldn't say there's particularly one thing that I have to do when I return to Tampa. It's just I love being around the community, love being around my friends and family, because that's what's most important to me.